Back up, back up. Put it in reverse, Terry. Right, this is just getting beyond weird now, because now there's a pair of trainers. Oh no. I'm ringing Mountain Rescue. Do you know what? I'm just going to start with one of these. Boom. Now then, Andy's and Mandy's and everything in between. Welcome back to the channel. Now, if you've not already guessed by the name, we are back in Wales. Wales, mate, repping. And that's because tonight we're going to be wild camping on Moel Siabod. Sorry to cut my intro off so abrupt, but we've got a trio of choppers over there. Anyway, so we will be ascending via the Daear Ddu ridge, and although be it an entry level, it is actually classed as a grade 1 scramble, so that should be good fun. It's absolutely red as today. I did have my jacket on when I first set off, but as always I set off with too many layers on. I think I was dressed for the forecasts on the summit, because it's supposed to be like 2 degrees, but nah, sweating buckets down here. It's took me about 3 hours to get here or something. I did stop off on the way just to get a little drink and that, but we've got plenty of time because it's only like 1:30, 2 o'clock, and sunset until about 6:30, if not later. So we can take us time and enjoy this scenic route. And I think I have just got first glances of the summit we are going up. Come on, man. Look at these conditions today. Now we're a bit closer, I've got my first proper look at Moel Siabod. We are just passing the first of 3 bodies of water. But mate, I'm telling you, it's so good to be back in Wales, and it feels like it's been quite a while. Look how stunning this is. I've just got to what looks like the remains of either an old mill or some barracks from the quarry that used to be here. If we just go around this corner, you can see another one down there, look. And I'm sure you've guessed just by the vast amount of slate there is round here that it was a slate mine. Look, there's a few more up here. I'm sure whoever worked here worked a hell of a lot harder than I've ever had to, but it's not a bad view, is it? And just as we get up here, we can now see the second body of water, which from what I've read online is hella deep, because that is where the quarry was. And that there is Llyn Foel. Llyn. And that there is Llyn Foel, the third of the 3 bodies of water that we have seen on this hike. Now, before even navigating that scramble, we've got to get ourselves across this bog, which doesn't look like it's going to be fun. This looks quite dry, but you can never tell. So spongy. Yeah, we'll be alright hopping across that, I reckon. Oh no. Maybe not, because we need to get round there, I think. That side. I don't know where I'm supposed to go, but my feet are wet already. So I might just have to go for it. Fuck's sake, man. I am filthy. My feet are piss wet through, man. But my left one is anyway. I feel like with a little bit more clever navigating, I could have avoided that totally. So it looks like once we get up here, that is the start of the ridge. Yeah, I can see why it said it was 2 degrees up there. Because once you're in that wind, it's freezing. Don't let those blue skies fool you. Now, although this isn't a guide, once you've come up from the third body of water, because we're heading right up towards this ridge, you need to remember at this point to head right, because there's actually another path which goes around there. We want to be cutting across that way. And I'm only telling you that because I went wandering left when I should have gone right. Once we fully get up onto this ridge, we're going to be a lot more exposed to that wind, and it's actually doing my nutting, especially when it blows in your ears and that. So I'm just going to get my jacket on whilst I'm here, because at least then I've got the hood as an option to keep me out the wind. That's better, man. So this stage is more or less just climbing onto big boulders. There's no exposure out at the sides, but you've just got to be able to lift yourself up some of these big ass slabs. Right, wobbler that then. Sick views though, innit? Amazing views. Should really be using 2 hands for this bit. There were an easier option that I could have gone round, but it just looked fun. Look, trig point. But what I'm not liking is how, in true Good Bloke Outdoors fashion, that fog seems to be rolling in. What's it playing at, man? Well then, here we are at the summit of Moel Siabod. Look at the views there, stunning. Right, so we've got plenty of time. I've just checked the forecast again, and boy has it changed from what it said earlier. So all week I've been looking, and it's supposed to be very cold but clear, and now I'm looking, it's still very cold, but it's now fog. Literally fog all night from 5 o'clock onwards, so we're not ever going to get a sunset. So as you could see from when I were up there were no views from the summit. So I've decided to make an executive decision, and I'm going to work my way back down this ridge the way we've just come up from, and I'm going to pitch a little bit lower just so I've at least got a chance of getting a better view. I might even pitch back down near those Slate mines, you know, near that quarry that we're at. I'm going to have a look. That means we've still got to navigate that boggy section again, which won't be fun, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on. There she goes. There she goes. On her ass again. Tipping over in wind. So I've just made my way back down that ridge that we went up. And I am at the third of 3 bodies of water, which is what I am referring to them as. We've now got to go across this boggy bastard, like we did earlier. Bearing in mind my feet have actually dried out now from that earlier, so I don't want to be getting them wet again, so I'm going to be taking extra care this time, because it's a little bit late on in the day to be having wet feet. Can't be dealing, whoa, can't be dealing with that. Slipping about on that. I'm sort of looking up now thinking, should I have stayed up there? But then when I see all the fog covering the top, I think I've made the right choice. On this occasion, I think I'd rather just drop a little bit lower and find somewhere a little bit more interesting to camp than in a cloud. But yeah, I enjoyed that ridge. It was pretty decent. It were actually, to be fair, more tricky coming down than going up, because when you're going up you can sort of pick out a bit of a path, a bit of a route in advance and sort of head that way, whereas when you're going down you can sort of feel like you're following a good sort of path, if you can call it a path, and then you'll get to a bit where you'll just sort of lock yourself and you'll be like, oh, we can't go down there. Reverse, reverse. Back up, back up.
Bag up, bag up.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry. Oh, Lord. Oh, Jesus.
Then you sort of got to go back on yourself and find another way around and down, a bit like what I'm doing now. Because if I spin you right round, I am not walking through this. So the path is sort of there. Look at that. Here we go again. I'm glad someone's put a couple of rocks here. Whoa, they're sinking. We're making most of them. And a big jump. Windy as hell as well now. And the last thing I want to be doing is slipping and landing in this slop. I remember last time I had a new outfit on, that blue one. I can hit jets again. Yeah, anyway, I slipped on my arse, man. Head to toe in mud. Oh mate, I am telling you, if there's a place to avoid, it's a place where you've just found another man's boat. Look at that. Fresh pair of Northwest territory. Waterproof. But they weren't bog proof, were they? Although it looks awfully clean. Fresh boat out here, I shouldn't be manhandling that, man. There could have been a murder. Where's the other one? No other boat. Just a random booty out on rock. Looks like someone's had a photo shoot with that. That's mental, that. Yeah, I can't get my head around that, because if, say, the foot got stuck in the bog and they've pulled the leg out and they've lost the boot or whatever, why is it so clean? Do you know what I mean? So why else would you leave a boot? This is actually mad, innit? That buildings were built like this at one point. Around here, anyway. Nah. Look what I found. What are the chances of that? Bearing in mind the other one was all the way over there, up over that hill, past that bog. And we've got this one here. Very strange indeed. Fucking hell. Look at the roof on them. I would not dare sleep under one of them. No chance. Nah. There's one at Bootlaces there. Freaky. I've made my poles up first, which is what I always do, and I want to make sure I clear this area because these little sharp bits of slate could potentially rip through the bottom of the ground sheet on the tent or the bathtub floor, and then it might even pop my air mat. So I'll get rid of them because yeah, this slate is really sharp. And then we can lay this tent out then. Hopefully there's enough room with a nice view. Any bigger whatsoever, and that won't going to fit there. It's just fitting. So that's how it's looking right about now. I've had to put bits of slate on every peg because I'm struggling to get them in ground, as you can imagine. And then I've done this on a few of them where the rock is sort of just leaning on top of the peg just to try keep it in that ground a little bit more. You need to be careful with the guy lines rubbing against rock because that abrasion will weaken the guy line, and then if it snaps it could be a fail. I've done the exact same over here, look. The peg is only gone in, I'd say about halfway, if that. But then I've just leaned them on top of it, and hopefully, I don't know, the strongest of gusts probably would pull that out. I don't know. Soon find out. And it's not where it needs to be really. It should be going like this, but there seems to be a big fat building in the way. That one I've not been able to get in at all, so I'm purely relying on those rocks. And the wind is actually coming from this direction as well, which isn't ideal. Anyway, let's get the backpack in the tent and we'll get ourselves set up for night. There you go, look. If we were up there, we'd have just been in all that clag and we wouldn't have been able to see a reasonable view. I'm not complaining, it's not bad. I need to get my Cheez-Its though. These are banging, these. Well, I don't think I've had the cheese and chilli one, I'm not sure. I've had the green one and just the all cheese one, just like mega cheese. I think the green one is like chives or something, or sour cream maybe. Don't forget my roux. Get them whacked in the tent. The bad boy tent, the Staika, the big red Swede. But I tell you what, now that sun's going down, it ain't half getting nippy, so I'm going to change into the down gear very shortly. Oh, in fact, I just want to say a massive thank you to Revolution Race for gifting me this outfit. But when I say gifting me, they said pick an outfit and we'll send it to you. So fair play. I've actually spent a fair bit of money over the past few years on Revolution race gear, bearing in mind that these are actually my 5th pair of pants by them. I've got some brown ones, I've got some teal ones, I've got some blue sort of camo looking ones, and then the ones that I've worn for quite a lot of videos are my red ones. You must have seen them before if you're a regular to the channel. I wore them when I did my Ben Nevis camp. I basically wear those red ones every time that the weather is guaranteed to be crap because they're actually waterproof. I don't know why I'm calling them the red ones, because they're called the Cyclone pants, I think, or the Cyclone Rescue. But anyway, it's just nice that a brand that I actually wear has reached out to me, and they've actually given me a discount code as well. So if you go on the website and use Good Bloke Outdoors 15, then you'll get 15% off. But there is a little catch. That discount code is only valid through April. So it's a temporary discount code. And like I do with quite a lot of the gear that I use, I'll pop a little link in the description. So if you are interested, by all means, check them out. Do you remember when I got this Atom Pack? And it had an avocado pocket? Well, I have officially renamed it, because those eagle-eyed viewers out there might have spotted this. If you go back, you'll probably see it. I might need to put you down a minute. Let me just put you down. Wait there a minute, Graham. Tilt back. Drop it down. Hands free. So this was the avocado pocket, now renamed the Big Mac pocket. Look what we have here. Come to daddy. Big Macca. Whole Macca straight inside it. Atom Pack. Look at this. Big Macca, cold Big Mac. Man's eating cold Big Macs. Why is it still so nice? How do they do it? If you are interested in a Big Mac, I'll put a link in the description for you. Oh, that's my sleeping bag. Might as well get that out anyway. Can't believe I'm still using the winter bag. It weighs a ton. I thought we'd have been into the 3-season bags by now. I've got 3 options for my sleep system throughout the year. So in winter, I always use this RUCKSACK 900 4-season bag. And then spring and autumn, I tend to use the Alpkit Pipe Dream 400. And then in summer, or when it's relatively warmer, I use the, what is it called now? Thermarest Vespa quilt. So it's not a sleeping bag, it's a quilt. So they're my 3 sort of options. If you're not someone that camps in winter, then you might as well just get 1 sleeping bag and just get a 3-season one, because it's not going to be too heavy. You don't want to be bringing a winter bag out in summer, carrying all that extra weight for no reason. And you can still use it in summer if you need to. You can just sort of open it out, use it as a quilt or whatever. Down booties. It's bloody April and we've got down booties. I'm only saying April because that's when this video will go out, but it's not April. Not at the time of recording. Same goes for down jackets. I've got 3 that I mainly use. All from Decathlon as well. I've got the burgundy sort of colour one, which is my summer jacket, and then I've got this one, which is like my 3-season jacket, and then I've got my big Simmond, my big boy, that I wear in winter. Once you've been doing this for a few years, then you'll start accumulating a lot more kit, so that you have more options then, depending on what the weather's like or what season you're in. So it is looking a little dark on that camera, isn't it? So I think it is time. This is my light, which is slowly getting damaged. I've had to tape it up because there were just wires exposed that I'd ripped. So what I tend to do with this, I will lift the camera off. Shall I do this in real time? Are you alright staying there a minute? I'll lift the camera off the tripod. Like that, look. That's the tripod, that's the selfie stick that I use, or tripod, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be hard to do this with one hand. I'll hold you there a minute. And then that twists onto there. You can get a lot smaller lights, you don't need to do this, man, but it's just nice for filming inside the tent. And then this, which is you, twists onto that. And there you are. Hello. Goodbye. Hello. Goodbye. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, you're stuck. And there, you're now on the tripod with the light. And then if I go in my electricals bag, let's have a look in here. We'll find one of my power banks. I've got 2. I bring 2 just for this reason, because I like to save one for my phone make sure that I've got plenty of juice. And then this one I whack in here. Let's turn it on, turn it on. Boom! Wow! Jesus! There we go. Is that better? Is it? Is that even better or is that too bright? Nah, that's better, that one. Just like that. So, oh, where are you going? Windy in that. Right, let's get these trainers off. Don't tell me I didn't bring my down pants. Don't think I did. That is actually a bit of a bummer. That is not nice, that. I can't believe I didn't bring my down pants. I'm not having that. Get back in here. Oh God. I did get worried a little bit there. Not worried, I'd have been fine, obviously. I've got my winter sleeping bag, but I don't want to get into sleeping bag straight away. If I knew I'd have been kipping on a slate mine, then I might have brought my foil mat for underneath this thermarest. So I am hella paranoid about it popping on this surface. And I ain't got a ground sheet for the tent, so I'm relying on one bit of fabric to stop this popping. Don't get me wrong, the bathtub floors on these Hillebergs are really thick anyway, especially the black label ones. So hopefully we shouldn't have any issues, but straight away getting off the ground makes such a difference. Have you noticed the colours on this sleeping bag? So it's a Rab, a Cent 900, they're exactly the same as this 4-class MT500. So the pocket there is that colour. Mad, innit? What are the chances? What are the chances? Can't wait for these. In fact, shall I show you what we've got for tea tonight? In my bin liner, because I couldn't find any carrier bags at home. So I have got, making a return to the channel, Persian style flatbreads. Buzzing. And to go with that, please excuse the wind noise. Kicking off a little bit out there. Anyway, to go with that, Mattison's smoked sausage. There's more. Now I spotted this and I thought, this sounds really nice. Chili halloumi sticks. How nice do they sound? Instantly sound peng them. So I'm going to have Persian style flatbreads with smoked pork sausage and chili halloumi sticks. And then a little drizzle, if I can find it. It's not tomato ketchup, it is yogurt mint sauce, that crucial stuff. Bit of squirty squirt, dribble dribble over the top. That'll be a fire meal, that. I might even, no I won't, I was going to say crush in a couple of these Cheez-Its. Oh, cheese and chilli. Mate, come on. You know what I'm saying? Can't write it, can you? A match made in heaven. But I'm not hungry. Not right now anyway. I've had a Big Mac, haven't I? Oh, Big Mac, But what I do fancy, if I've brought them, I will literally go home right now if I ain't got them. Let me have a look. Please say I've got them. There's my waterproofs. Oh, I've got them. It's alright, we can stay. We can continue with the video. Hot chocolate. Booyah. I think that's next. Hot chocolate or Moroccan tea, Lala. What are you saying? It's a possibility. I think we'll go for hot chocolate. say I've got all to worry about as far as the tent's concerned. I just need to make sure that all these pegs stay in, because them gusts have been coming in every now and then. But so far, we're alright. It's not too bad. It's actually really damp on the tent. So I think that is all that fog. Must be dampness in the air. I ordered some other week, something completely uncamping related, and it came in this little Ziploc bag, and it actually fits perfect length for my long spork. Whoa! So it's nice that I've been able to use it. Certainly kicking off out there, man. Well, cheers big ears. Let's pretend to drink it just to get a little shot, when really I need to wait for 5 minutes because it's red as... That's really nice. This stuff is good. Look at these, man. Chili halloumi sticks. Look at them. This is going to take some mad stock rotation for all this to cook evenly. And I've still got the flatbread to cook. Shall I do just cook 3 of them? Whoa, 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 burning, man. Right, I've sort of plated that up, but I have no idea how I'm supposed to eat that. I've just realised this is that tearing sort of... What is it? Tear and share, mate. I don't know how I'm going to eat this without making a complete mess. But let's get some mint sauce on top, man. Oh my god. That will be nice, that. And it smells absolutely lovely. So we've got Persian style flatbreads with Mattison's sausage, chili halloumi sticks, and yogurt mint sauce. That sounds like a little bit of me, that. Let's go and try some of this sausage. Piping hot. That is nice. I'm going to try. Can't really fold it. It's going to sort of rip. Tear and share and all that lot. You know what? I'm going to do what it says. I'm going to tear and share. I'm going to rip a little bit. Get a bit of sausage with mint in it. Break this halloumi up a little bit. Tear some more off. Ow! It's hard because my table is bloody red hot. Obviously, because it's a grill. Look at that, man. That's charred, innit? If it's brown, it's cooked. If it's black, it's fucked. I'm going to add a little bit more of this yogurt and mint to the situation. Mate, I can just eat these flatbreads on their own. So nice, man. Right then, I'm going to pick away at this until it's all gone, whilst I watch something on my phone. Right then, famalam, I am going to try get some sleep because it is getting pretty late. Well, I say getting pretty late, it is pretty late. It is 21 minutes past 1 and my alarm is set for 6 AM. I was going to tidy up a little bit, but we might as well wait till morning now because it's getting pretty late. So I will catch you lot later. Where's this light? Let me turn this light off. In a bit. Ooh. Yes. Good morning, everybody. How are we all doing on this sweet, fine morning? Tell you what, that clag did not hold back last night. Made everything just piss wet through. The entire tent is soaking, and they want a drop of rain. I don't think so, anyway. But there's a lot of morning dew this morning. I do need to take these gloves off though because they are very warm. Look at your goddamn boots. Starting to grow roots. As if they was just a brand new booty. If you think if I go grip that other one, I've got a pair there, stick them on old eBay, man. Put that up there, up front and centre. Look at the scenes, man. Moody scenes this morning. I suppose another good thing about coming back down here instead of camping up on top is at least we're further towards the car this morning, less to walk, and then we can get on as travels to the next location. But yeah, I kinda wish I'd have brought my trekking poles for this sort of terrain. All this little loose stuff is fine, it's just them big flat slabs, so slippery. Well, last night's sleep then, I didn't get many hours at all. I'm going to say 4 hours at the very most. Once I'd fallen asleep, I didn't wake up till my alarm went off this morning. So that's good. At least I didn't wake up at night and that. But it just took me ages to fall asleep. Right, this is just getting beyond weird now. Because now there's a pair of trainers and socks. Nike Air Zoom. What is actually going on? I found a pair of boots and a pair of trainers. I am half tempted to go see what size those boots were to see if they match up with those trainers. We've got a four-legged hiker knocking about with no shoes on. If I see any more pairs, then I'm ringing Mountain Rescue. I'm going to tell them we've got too many pairs of shoes up here, John. Tell you what, this is my kind of car park. An actual designated proper car park. Completely free of charge. Right then people, back in the whip safe and sound after another successful camp. I've actually got an hour and 20-minute drive because I'm heading to another area in Wales for another wild camp tonight. And oh my god, I have just checked the forecast. I'm talking 60 miles per hour wind gusts on the summit of the mountain that I plan on camping on. That one's going to be eventful. So make sure you click subscribe and press that little bell button and you'll get notified when I upload that video. If you want to support the channel that little bit more, you can join the Patreon. I'll leave links in the description. Don't forget to check out Revolution Race. Use my discount code GoodBlokeOutdoors15 for 15% off through all of April. And on that note, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out in a bitch. Yeah, this is insane, man.